Hey everybody, this is Pat down here at Brantford Kia / Brantford Hyundai, and I'm starting off this video by throwing it to Gabi.
Awesome, great intro, thank you Pat. Hey everyone, in today's video we have our very first 2026 Hyundai Palisade in 2026. It may be 2025 right now, but that marks a huge change for the Palisade. It is our first ever redesign, and boy, there is a lot on this car. I'm going to try my best to keep this video under 40 minutes, but we'll see what the future holds.
40?
40 minutes.
I got to go back to work in 30.
Whatever. Anyway, today's video, it's a live stream car review, so we're doing this in real time. There's absolutely no script. It's just us, the camera, the car, and you guys watching live. Now, if you are watching this in the future, we do dedicate a couple minutes towards the end of the video to answering some questions, so that's also why these videos get a little lengthy. But we're also going to show you everything on this car, a full walkthrough, exterior and interior. We're not going to go too in-depth on the tech today, just to shorten the time frame, but I will point out some major changes and briefly explain them.
And one of the things we asked people to do was, if there's things you want to know or see on the Palisade, feel free to put comments in after the fact or even in the chat. And we're going to build a library on this vehicle because there's so much to cover.
Yes, you may have catched my earlier video I posted about an hour ago. We're starting a Palisade playlist, so just about any question you may have on the Palisade, let us know in the comments. We'll do a separate video addressing that specific comment. Let's go?
All right, let's go.
All right, now you may be wondering, what is the price point of this beautiful machine? And to that, I have no answer. So while the vehicle has arrived at our Canadian dealership, there's no official price released to us yet. Even the window sticker that came on the car only shows $2,000. So if you want to pick one up for real cheap, let me tell you, just kidding, $2,000 is not what you'll pay to get this car, maybe a down payment. Anyway, in today's video, let's start off with the front end. Whole lot going on over here. It's bold, it's wide, and it's very much upright. So, funny enough, they actually shortened the front end of the vehicle. It's a little shorter than the previous Palisade, but it's certainly more upright. However, thanks to their cool design, we've also got a bit of a larger look. So we have a lot of horizontal lines all throughout our grille. Today's model is the ultimate calligraphy, so there are some exceptional design elements, more specifically on the exterior, that make it stand out in the rest of the Palisade lineup. You'll notice we have a lot of satin chrome touches, so horizontal lines all throughout, definitely widening the appearance of the car. Your Hyundai badge is also finished in a nice satin chrome / brushed aluminum touch, so brighter finishes, matching perfectly with this paint. I'll talk about the paint in a second, because on camera it probably looks black, but there is a little bit of a different hue on the car. Now for your main grille here, you'll see it is extremely wide. Now there's a lot of advanced cooling on this particular car. Number one, if you do plan on towing with the vehicle, they come standard with a heavy-duty transmission cooler. But for just regular driving and aerodynamics, you have active grille shutters along the bottom. So these panels will open up and close as the vehicle deems fit to allow airflow past the car and allow cooling too. Your main headlamps are LEDs standard on the Palisade. Now I will point out they have a very, very funky design, and I'm actually going to turn them off in just a minute to show you how they disappear when the car turns off. So it's not just the light that disappears, it doesn't even look like a light at all. Your main daytime running light bar expands all the way across your front grille, and again, that is a daytime running light, so that'll be running at all times. The headlamp itself, everything is positioned in one huge housing. So this is a very, very large lamp. It's also positioned at a really nice height as well too, so in terms of visibility, you have a clear sight of everything around you. It's also a projection lamp too, so that creates a little bit less of a widespread view and more focused on where you need it most. Very handy for not blinding other drivers, because LEDs are bright. Now, I did tell you I would shut off the lights, so let's take a look at what happens when those LEDs turn off. You'll notice that we have a bit of a silver finish, and that's because the lens is actually coated, not in real silver, but a silver color. So that gives it a bit of just, it looks like it's design on the car, not necessarily the lamp itself. Pat, what do you think about it?
I can't get over how the front end is almost right up and down.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's colored.
Yes. It is so, so cool. This does not look like a headlamp at all. And then you turn the vehicle on and it literally comes to life. It's very, very cool. I'm trying not to use the word cool too much, but I really don't have any other words to describe it. Now, a couple more things I want to talk about on the front end, and then I promise you we'll get to the wheels and the powertrain, is the parking sensors. So we have front-facing parking sensors as well as a full surround view monitor. Now, you don't have to go to the Ultimate Calligraphy to get these things. Hyundai did a great job at producing a lot in even our entry models. Now, there are some Palisade Calligraphy exclusives that I will point out in a few, but another thing I wanted to mention is the safety on this vehicle. So right in our very center, we have our radar plate there, and that's going to monitor your vehicle's distance from the car ahead of you. Things like Smart Cruise Control, which is actually Smart Cruise Control 2 now, as well as Highway Drive Assist 2. Now, Highway Drive Assist is standard on the Palisade, but when you get to the Ultimate Calligraphy, it transforms into HDA or Highway Drive Assist Level 2. That means this car can also do automated lane changes, and if the vehicle in the adjacent lane is kind of riding into your area, it'll reposition you and even overtake a little bit to give you space that you need and safety that you need. All right, do you think it's time for Powertrain, Pat?
Let's do it.
All right, so the Palisade, for the first time ever, offers two different powertrain options. Now, today we have the gas model, and this is going to be a 3.5 liter, so we've gone down in displacement from the 3.8 liter of last year. Now, this powertrain, although it's a little smaller, we're actually still producing impeccable power. So we have about 287 horsepower compared to the 292 of last year, not a big difference, and 260 pound-feet of torque. Now, with that being said, we don't have a huge difference in performance, but we have a huge difference in fuel efficiency. So this car is currently rated at about 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers compared to last year's 11.1. That's combined, so highway and city driving. This vehicle also has dedicated drive modes, so things like Eco Mode, Sport Mode, and even a customizable My Drive that changes the way the engine's going to respond, your throttle response as well, and your steering, and that actually does play a little impact on your fuel efficiency. And of course, makes you smile. If you got a heavy foot, Sport Mode is a ton of fun. I did mention that there is another powertrain option though, and that is a 2.5 liter turbocharged hybrid. So it's actually a 2 electric motor hybrid, and we get a lot of power in that bad boy. It's about 329 horse, and I can't remember the torque number off the top of my head, but that is quite the increase. Now, it is an option in the Ultimate Calligraphy, so you can get the gas model or the hybrid and still get the same incredible equipment within the car. Now, for the straight gas, you'll get an 8-speed regular automatic transmission. That's a transmission with a torque converter, smooth gears, linear power, and of course, no dual clutch or CVT. So it's pretty smooth all throughout. Wheel time.
Let's see the wheels.
So the Ultimate
They look
Calligraphy,
big.
they are big. So this is a 21-inch
21
alloy.
inches, yeah, sure.
And this is exclusive to the Ultimate Calligraphy. Your tire is a Pirelli Scorpion tire, so that is a more premium tire, of course, and it is all season. The Palisade's also standard with H-TRAC all-wheel drive here in Canada, and that also comes with 3 dedicated terrain modes. That's snow, mud, and sand. Now, H-TRAC does a great job of providing you the traction when you need it. So if it's a regular day, it's going to be primarily front-wheel drive, and that's great for fuel efficiency. But if you turn onto a gravel road or you hit some snow, the car will automatically adjust its torque distribution. If you want to use the snow mode, mud mode, or the sand mode, it'll actually put you in anywhere from an 80 to 20% split in snow mode, all the way up to a 50-50 torque split in mud and sand mode. So the car is very smart, lots of sensors all throughout. You're going to make sure you're staying stable on the road. Your brakes up at the front are a very large ventilated disc brake, and fun fact, the Hyundai Palisade, this current generation, actually has a better stopping distance than last year's Palisade. It's about 42 meters, and that's from going 100 kilometers per hour to straight 0. That's also better than the Toyota Highlander. Not bad. Another thing I want to talk about is the tire itself. So we know it's a Pirelli Scorpion, but it's also an acoustic tire. So there's actual foam within the tire to give you a nice, quiet, solid ride. And there's a lot more noise, vibration, harshness technology that have gone into this car to make it a smooth, quiet ride. Smooth and quiet depending on who's in it, of course. The car does a good job of keeping it solid, but your passengers might not. Now for your windscreen, we have a very large, very upright windscreen. The very center houses a camera that does a lot, and I'm talking a lot. You guys already know Hyundai does a great job at providing a lot of tech and safety functions standard, but we also now have a dual channel dash cam integrated into the Palisade. Now that's only available on the Ultimate Calligraphy, what we have here today. It also has sound and the ability to watch it live. You can turn this off if you're not a fan of it, but it's really great to have integrated into the car. That means no aftermarket parts and no wires around your dash area. Your wipers will be rain sensing. I mean, I can show you them, but they look like regular wipers. And then the camera also does things like maintain your lane distance, make sure you're not departing, as well as following the lanes ahead of you if there's a bend in the road. For your mirrors, on all models, you'll get power folding mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. And then on select models, you'll have a blind view camera or blind view monitor. Every time you go to indicate a lane change or a turn, it'll show you a live feed of everything that's happening there, which is fantastic if you're doing a lot of highway driving, changing lanes, or city driving. Shows you pedestrians, cyclists, even curbs when you're parallel parking. A couple more things I want to talk about the mirrors. This may not be the most exciting stuff, but of course they are power controlled, power folding, and of course heated. You also have blind spot detection icon integrated into the mirror itself. In terms of our doors, we have proximity entry, so as long as the key is somewhere on me, I can reach for the door handle, it'll unlock, and then once I'm done, tap on it again to lock it. There's also digital key entry, so you can share that with other users, as well as revoke access so they can drive your car without actually having the key. And again, you don't have to use that if you're not a fan of it. The body. So the Palisade has grown. It's grown quite a bit. So we now have a longer wheelbase. I believe it's about 72 millimeters longer than last year. Don't quote me on that, but I will put the accurate measurements in the description. A bit of a longer rear overhang too. So we're shorter in the front, longer in the rear, and you'll really feel the change in the space, or at least you'll see it on this video. For your suspension, it's a multi-link rear suspension, and it also comes standard with our automated dampening, so self-levelizing rear suspension. It's very handy if you are towing with this vehicle. Now, the V6 GDI engine is going to provide you with 5,000 pounds of towing capacity, while the hybrid powertrain is 4,000 pounds. There's also a huge change in what Hyundai is offering in the cars. So it used to be that if you would like to tow with your vehicle, you'll have to get your hitch and everything aftermarket or through the dealer, but after purchase. It is now standard on this vehicle. So of course you got your wiring, you got your integrated hitch, even though it may not look like it, because it's actually tucked away behind this neat body panel. So if you would like to access your hitch, there's 2 screws along the bottom, you'll pop it out, and then you're all good. It's meant for a 4-pin wiring harness, which is pretty standard here in Canada, but in case you were wondering. There's also dedicated tow modes and the ability to add your trailer. So if you change trailers, buy a different one, you can tweak the settings in your car to accommodate those trailers. There's also rear parking sensors. So those are those ultrasonic sensors that will start beeping when you get too close to something. And a full 360-degree camera. So 1 on the rear, 2 on the mirrors on our side, and 1 in the very center of our front grille. But there's also a 5th one.
Oh yeah.
Now this 5th one here is actually for your rear view monitor. We'll show you guys that when we hop inside. Sorry, not rear view monitor. Rear view camera, rear view mirror.
For your mirror. It is noticeably bigger.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It looks like the belt line is higher.
Yes, so the belt line, let's actually talk about the belt line. So it's hard to tell on this particular model or today's car because it's a very, very dark paint. You'll notice it a lot more on our lighter paints. So of course we got the satin chrome all throughout. That definitely heightens the car. But along the bottom, we also have it on the bottom. So it's almost like a sandwich effect, but the car has so much height and so much presence that, I don't know, it just looks so tall and upright. It's pretty cool. You really feel the space when you get inside, but when you are driving it, I drove it here today, it doesn't feel like you're driving a school bus. And one thing I think that this car really excels in is, of course it can haul your family and it can haul it comfortably, but it doesn't look like a family hauler. It's not boring. All right, let's talk space now. There is a lot of space behind our 3rd row here, and it's actually adjustable. So on most 3-row SUVs, of course you can fold the seats down and they go completely flat. However, on this car, you can actually have the seats in use, but move them upright a little bit. So if you need more cargo room and you can sacrifice some leg room, move the seat up a bit. If you need all the leg room and you're not carrying anything back here, move the seats back. And I'm not talking just a recline. They actually slide backwards or slide forwards. This car also has a temporary spare tire. So over here you can see our jack, and the tire itself is actually located underneath the car. In our cargo area here too, we do have a subwoofer. There's 14 Bose speakers in this car and an external amplifier. There's surround speakers, we got our tweeters, everything. If you like music, you're gonna love it. Bose is also very, very good. I think in terms of our 3 main audio providers, Bose is my favorite. So we got Harman Kardon, Meridian, and Bose. Just saying, let us know what you guys think though. Now, a couple more things I want to talk about in the rear is just the styling. And of course, styling is always going to be subjective. I personally really do love the satin chrome finish. Regular chrome shows fingerprints. It's hard to keep clean. This is a bit more forgiving and certainly more modern. I think the lines that they've done on the car not only leave the vehicle upright, but also give it that wide presence without driving a school bus. And then the tail lamps are cool. I call them our vampire fang taillights. I think they're awesome.
That was one of the comments.
Yes.
Good looking fangs.
Yes. So full LEDs, bold, bright, and they're not positioned too low on the rear of the car. I know when the Santa Fe came out, it got a lot of feedback, especially because it almost had that dog bone-like sequence. Pat, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. This is a little bit more. Before I myself hop in, I'll just have Pat give a quick pan of the interior.
Okay.
Now, when you hop over to the Ultimate Calligraphy, your seating material will be a beautiful Napa leather, and there's 3 options to choose from. Today we have the black, which doesn't look the best on camera just because you can't see all of the details, but it's classy, it's sleek, and there's a reason why it's our #1 seller. The Napa leather is extremely buttery soft, and it just feels so nice. You do get a couple improvements to the driver and passenger front seat when you do opt for the highest trim level, but it's so important to note that even if you are getting the entry Palisade, you're getting a lot in this car. So standard, of course, will be powered seats, but when you go up a couple trim levels to the Ultimate Calligraphy, you'll also get a driver's knee extender. So you can see it in action there. Great if you are a taller driver. And you can also see our bottom of the seat adjustment, so raise it, lower it, even tilt it on an angle. Your backrest is controlled, of course, and then you have not only bolstering, so you can adjust how much the seat hugs you or kind of gives you space. You also have 4-way lumbar support. Now, with all these seating tweaks, you may be wondering, oh my goodness, when someone else helps in my car, how am I going to find my seat again? Don't worry, we've got memory seats. And memory seats, again, starts on the XRT trim level, so it's not something you have to hop to the top for. One thing that you will have to, though, is the ErgoMotion seat. So ErgoMotion seat is like a massage function.
That was one of the questions we had.
There you go.
I was going to ask.
So Pat, you have that on your Telluride, or you've had it on the EV9 too. I don't know if you tried it.
Yeah, it turned on after a long drive on the engine. It scared her because she didn't know what was going on.
It's a little weird. There is an automated function where, again, after 30 minutes of driving or an hour of driving, it automatically kind of repositions you.
To keep you awake and help your posture.
Yeah. You can't shut that off if you're not a fan, but you could take it another step further and just get a massage anytime you drive. So by pressing this button, it'll wake up the menu screen where you can select if you'd like pelvic, lumbar, or whole body massage, and you can just change the intensity. It's really great. It's for the driver's seat only, and it's only on the Ultimate Calligraphy. But let's get back into what else we've got over here. So for our door materials, we got more of that satin chrome, and that's going to surround our window and mirror controls. Mirrors are power folding, like I said, so if you want to fold them in, it's just the touch of a button. All of the windows on the vehicle will be an express up and down window, so if you want to drop them all down at once, just get all your fingers, make sure the car is on, and they all go down. Sound system again, 14-speaker Bose premium audio. You got your tweeters, you got your main, you got your sub. There's a lot of fantastic speakers on this car. For our main panel by our driver's knee, we got our electronic parking brake, traction control, your tow mode button, idle stop and go, that's exclusive to the V6 powertrain, and then a button to open or close your liftgate. The steering wheel is just like what we have on the Santa Fe, beautiful, sleek steering wheel. It's 2-spoke, you got your paddle shifters mounted on the back, because you may notice we don't have a traditional gear shift. More on that later. Center, we have our 4 dots, which is Morse code for H, symbolizing Hyundai. And then on the left-hand side, we have our driver controls. So our smart cruise control, you'll set your speed and then set your following distance, as well as this notepad button that'll cycle between your menus and your fully digital gauge cluster. Now, I might take the camera from Pat just to better show you guys. So when you press this button here, it'll change what's displayed on this main center cluster. Everything's digitized, like I said, and let's see, let's go to our safety menu. You'll always have your speedometer and your tachometer showing. On the Ultimate Calligraphy, you'll also get a heads-up display. This is a 10-inch heads-up display, and you can change what's displayed. So I'm just trying to get it to focus. Right now you can see our speed and our lane safety, and then that little white square is actually a projection of the speed limit. Now, of course, we're on the Brantford Kia Autobahn. There's no speed limit in our video bay. Oh!
Just totally hit my head.
There is no speed limit in the Brantford Kia video bay, but of course, if you're on a highway or city road, it will adapt based off what the speed limit is. Here's something. So we do have a driver attention warning on this vehicle. So this is a little infrared light that watches your eyes to make sure you are paying attention to the road. It pays attention to if you're drowsy or if you're making some questionable driving choices, and it can warn you to take a break. So more on that later. We have yet to do a test drive video on it with our Smart Cruise Control or Highway Drive Assist, but I would like to. Right-hand side is all media controls, and there again we have our mounted steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Now your gear shift is a shift by wire, so it's located on the console. All you got to do is hold your brake, and then of course you can shift it into drive, neutral, or reverse, with P for park being a button on the end. That will also be your ignition, so this is going to give me a hard time, but you can see your engine start-stop button right over there. That'll be the same for the hybrid as well. Now let's take a quick look at our main screen, and again we won't go too in depth because we've got to save some time on this video, but I'll get some highlights right out of the way. So standard, you'll get this 12.3-inch display with in-house navigation. Now if you like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, we finally have it wireless. That's right, this is the first year the Palisade has wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. It's full screen too, so none of that split screen stuff, just full whatever your phone is, and then of course you can customize it based off what apps you use or your background. For the in-house Kia Net Map, we of course have access to that regardless of where our cell connection is or if our phone's dead. Just gonna deactivate all these pop-ups, you guys, sorry. And you can change the theme as well too. Both will work with your voice command, so if you have your phone connected, you can say directions to home and it can take you from your Google Maps, your Apple Maps, or you can use it here. We also now have the ability to have our Apple Maps or Google Maps displayed on the heads-up display, something we did not have before, and it was only exclusively done with Hyundai's in-house navigation. There we go. Quick trailer menu. So this is something that is new for the Palisade. So you can turn your trailer mode on, and that will change your shift points based off, carrying or pulling a trailer. And then you can also add your trailer. So you put in the specs of your trailer and even go through a checklist to make sure you're properly ready before you take off. They really thought of everything with this car, which is really cool. Now, more on the dash cam. So I mentioned that we have dual channel dash cams, which again means front and rear plus audio. So if the vehicle detects a collision, of course you can have it recorded, but you can also have it running at all times. There is a dash cam menu where you can select when you'd like it to be recording. So if it's only while driving, if it's while parked, or if it's motion detection while parked only. So you have all these different options that you can change to your liking, which I think is quite cool. There is a live feature icon too, so here you can see what the dash cam looks like in action. You can only watch the live cam while the vehicle is stationary though, so that's something interesting to note. Pretty cool, eh? We finally got it. So many people have been asking for an integrated dash cam for a while. We got it, and it's just gonna make its way into more and more of our cars. Below that, I'm so glad Hyundai kept buttons. So we have real controls for things like jumping to your home screen or jumping to your map. There's also some audio controls too, so seek and track for whatever you're listening to, and a favorites button that you can set to do whatever you'd like. The right-hand side will have things like our downhill braking assist, as well as, is it showing, Pat? Can you see it? Yeah, okay. Your parking sensors, as well as your park view camera. Now I did mention this vehicle has a full 360 camera, so let's see it in action. There's your drop-down view, and then this is our front camera in action now. If I want to change to the rear, I certainly can, and if I want a full 360 pan that looks a little crazy because Pat's door is open, this is what we've got. Now, you may be wondering, when I'm parking my car, I don't want to have to worry about parking and finding the right camera angle. Do not worry. So if I'm pulling ahead to a spot and my sensors detect an obstacle or whatever it may be, it'll show me my front camera. If I'm reversing, it's showing me my rear camera. And I'll still have a separate screen showing the whole view. So regardless of what you're doing, the car is smart enough to figure it out. All right, moving on. Climate control is mounted just below. This is a screen, but we do have physical knobs, which is so handy. You can adjust the front for driver, passenger is separate, and then we also have access for the rear climate here. You can lock the rear climate control if you'd like, and you can also turn on their heated seats and their ventilated seats from this center area here.
So which seats have heated and which have ventilated?
Let me tell you. So heated seats. Every seat in the house on this car is heated. That means driver, passenger, second row, both seats, and all seats in the rear.
I don't think we've had that before.
Never. not for Kia and Hyundai. Now, it is also worth noting that if you are opting for the ultimate calligraphy, you can only get the 7-passenger configuration. If you absolutely love a lot of the luxe features, don't worry, just below there is a luxury trim, hence the name, that you can get 7 or 8-passenger, and you can still opt for hybrid or gas model. So Hyundai really thought of everything. I feel like they're checking a lot of boxes with this car, and I'm happy about it. This area here, we got a lot of area. So this is a floating center console, and one of the highlights about this is it really frees up the space here. We don't have a gear shift in the middle anymore, so now we have so much storage and so much capacity. So we've got large cup holders as well as a wireless phone charger that's up to 15 watts. It's also meant to decrease the amount that your phone heats, so you won't overheat while wireless charging. In the very center area, this has a couple different functions. So you can use it as your regular storage center, but it also has our UV sterilization tray. So drop in your sunglasses, phone, whatever you need to sanitize, close it up, and then this UV-C button here will trigger the UV sanitation process. It's pretty cool. We saw this first on the Santa Fe. Don't know how many times you guys have used it. Let us know in the comments down below, but if you don't want to use it, it's just a lot of storage space. Underneath this floating console though, we have even more room, and it is almost a like rubber-like material, so whatever you do put here shouldn't roll around or fly out. There's a 12-volt inverter for more power, and I think it's worth mentioning that this car has 7 USB-Cs. 6 of them are 100 watts, which means they can plug in a laptop, charge a laptop quickly, something that most car ports do not do. They're very, very slow. Now, the only one that isn't 100 watts will be this one right over here, and that's because this specific USB-C is for data transfer and charging, not just charging. Everything else, though, charge away. All right, sunroof, and then we'll work our way to the second row. Got to turn the car back on, though. All right, we got 2 sunroofs. Now, the one in the front actually opens the glass pane. The one in the rear, it only opens the cover. Now the cover is fully automated, so you don't have to reach back there or have your back passengers do it, but the glass itself will not open. Lets a lot of light in, definitely opens up the space. Pat, when we hop to the second row, do you mind talking about what your seats do?
Yeah, absolutely. So surprising. I guess I'm gonna have to put myself on camera. Hey, everybody. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. So we basically go up, down, front, back. We've got lumbar. I don't know what they all do.
Maybe I should show it.
Oh, the bolstering too.
Sorry,
I
guys.
think. Look how many buttons there are.
Here, do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, better than me.
So 2-way lumbar support. We got our backrest, so recline adjustment. You got the height of the seat as well as the tilt, so you can tilt it upwards, downwards, whatever. You got a leg extender, and guess what you also get? This is the only trim level for the Santa Fe Palisade that has the relaxation seat. So just sit tight.
I was not expecting this.
3 hours
wow.
later. But it reclines the seat, puts the footrest up, and allows you to just relax a little bit.
I could totally have a nap in here.
All right, so you just kind of hold it to get it right back. While Pat's doing that, I'll show you guys a brief tour of the second row before we actually hop in. So like I said, the Ultimate Calligraphy will only have the captain's chairs configuration. These seats are very, very wide, same premium material with a very nice headrest. They're heated and ventilated, and the controls for them are also powered. So if you'd like to recline these seats, you certainly can. You do also get armrests that you can drop down to your liking, and of course position them the way you like them. Here we have an actual household outlet, so that is a 150-watt household charger, and then a little bit of space right underneath. Both of the seat backs are going to have their own pocket. It's a very deep pocket, and then you have those 100-watt USB-Cs built onto the backs of the seats as well. Cool thing that Hyundai introduced is the rear exit alert. If it senses you might hit something. Got our integrated sunshades, of course, very premium. And then we have our door handles and the fabric insert on the door, as well as our soft touch leather material. Palisade door scups all throughout, so we also have those on the front. And Pat, before I hop in,
okay,
I just I'll sit in actually while I talk. So these second row seats, you've got a lot of space over here. You can adjust it, give yourself more legroom, less legroom, recline them, you name it. But we also have more space for the third row to get in. So because this vehicle has grown, we have about 93 millimeters more room to get into the third row. And then of course our third row has more shoulder room, more headroom, and more legroom with the ability to slide the seats forwards and backwards. Now, the seats themselves over here, like I said, they're very wide. You have so many options to change them to your comfort liking. And headroom-wise, we've got a lot of it at all times. All of the lights in the cabin will be LEDs. So we've got our main small lamps right next to our handles. Your vents will be mounted on the ceiling, so great for car seats. And then all of your climate controls will be right up on the rooftop. Now, our headliner is also finished in a microfiber suede, so a very premium feel, but it doesn't show that much fingerprints, which is really handy. It's also blacked out, so moody cabin, the sunroof definitely brightens it up. All the controls here, you can set the temp to your liking, you can set the fan speed, or the driver up at the front can lock it and set it to whatever they want. Now, to get into the third row, there's a couple different ways. Hyundai has also made it that you can get into the third row and still keep a child's car seat here. So there is, yeah,
have they?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Because it is powered, it does take a little longer. You don't have to hold it the whole time.
Oh, wow.
There we go. So I'm going to hop in and let's talk third row. It's a little dark back here, but let's turn on our lights. LED lights here, and they are the spotlight style, so you just touch the lamp itself. There's no actual button. It shines right down on you. We got vents back here, ceiling mounted of course. They actually go towards your body and not just your knees. And then the seats themselves are quite wide when we're talking about the main seats. Middle seat is going to be a little bit smaller, so definitely put your smallest passenger there. And like I said, there are some controls back here for the seat comforts. So we've got our heated seat button right over there. 3 different levels for your comfort, as well as an option to recline the seat back, bring it right back up, and then slide it. So this is where I can increase my legroom or decrease my legroom. Pretty handy. More 100-watt inverters, and then for our rear window, very hard to tell on camera, especially with all the black we have around here for our materials. This is a very large rear window. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sitting in a third row can sometimes feel a little claustrophobic. I feel like I'm not actually part of the car. Being able to see outside really helps with that. And again, this is a massive window. And right up above, I still have a really clear view of the sunroof. So it's a claustrophobic friendly third row, if you will. The car has 8 cup holders with 4 bottle holders. Each bottle holder will be found on the door pockets. So you can see right over there. And then your cup holders for your second row seats will be also mounted on the door right there. You guys can see a little view of the ambient lighting. You can change that color to your set liking. And then to escape the second row, if nobody's sitting in the second or passenger seat, you do have a valet seat, so you can adjust it yourself from here. Pretty handy.
Yeah, that's like when you have a baby seat.
Alrighty, I'm going to hop out now. There we go. Let's answer some of your questions. And I just saw one saying, what's the MSRP? We would love to know.
That is the $1 million, but it won't be $1 million question.
And it won't be $2,000 either. Okay, sorry you guys, it is so hot. One thing about filming dark cars in the summer, it's not a good time.
There's lots of good comments, and largely it seems like the vehicle's being really well received.
Awesome.
And I think everybody caught the powertrain, because at the beginning there's some discussion that maybe some people jumped in late and only thought it was a 4-cylinder, but yes, no. This is a V6.
So yes, there's 2 powertrain options. Today's model is the 3.5 liter V6. That's 287 horsepower with 260 pound-feet of torque. Last year's V6, it was only available as a V6, and it was a 3.8 liter. It was more fuel hungry and with only a little bit more power. So we sacrificed the power just a smidge. You won't feel it, but we get better efficiency. For the other option in powertrain, it's a hybrid. So it is a 4-cylinder, but it's a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. You also get 2 electric motors, and we got a lot of horsepower, 329 horses to be exact.
I was just laughing. Bolton Blair, where's the button that makes your sandwich? Brought to you by Subway. Yeah, that's good. Did they change anything in the safety features as far as airbags and stuff like
10
that?
airbags. Sorry, I didn't mention that.
Yeah, I thought there was something new.
10 airbags with this vehicle. And a lot of advanced safety standards. So, of course, when you do go to the top model, you do get some tech advancements, but in terms of general safety, you're getting forward collision avoidance standard on this vehicle, you're getting smart cruise control standard, you're getting blind spot detection, you're getting a lot in this car at its entry trim. Of course, this model takes it up a couple notches, adds in a couple things that maybe you don't necessarily need, but you like, but that's why it's an option, right? Anything you want to point out, Pat?
I think this is kind of showing us what we're going to see with the revised Telluride.
Yes.
Because we know that we're getting 2 powertrains in the Telluride, and we're going to see hybrid there also. So I'm pretty excited. This is a great vehicle. Like,
yeah.
I drive a Telluride just about every day. It's really my wife's, but we're often traveling together, and I'm very impressed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I might just do a quick rundown of some of the trim levels for the Hyundai Palisade. So we got 4 main trims, but it's worth noting that there is a lot of customization between some of those trim levels. So in its entry model or preferred, you get 8 passenger seating with a V6 engine only. So 8 passenger, gas only. That's that one. Lots of equipment in that particular vehicle. One notable thing is that it does not have an integrated tow hitch. You got all the pre-wiring, but you do not have the hitch itself. Then you move over to the XRT, which is the rugged version. That is going to have an electronically controlled limited slip differential. It's actually the only trim level that has that. It's going to have greater ground clearance, greater departure angles. It's a little bit meant for more adventurous lifestyle. That is only going to be available with the V6 powertrain and the 7-seater configuration. Then you move over to the luxury trim level. The luxury gives you the option for V6 or hybrid, with also the option for 8 seats or 7 seats. Now that is the true home run for the Palisade lineup because there's just so much configuration, so many options. It also comes with a lot. You got memory seats, you got power all around, you got ventilated seats in the front and in the second row, you got the heated seats in the rear. Sorry you guys, I could talk about this all day. And then there's
And she did that all off the top of her head, guys, so that was pretty impressive.
Guys, I don't know when my birthday is, but I do know how much horsepower is in the Hyundai Palisade.
You definitely can start the car remotely. You can either use Blue Link
Yep.
or the key.
And not only that, you can also move the vehicle remotely. So on the Ultimate Calligraphy trim, you get remote Smart Park Assist that allows you to pull the vehicle forwards and backwards. Great for if someone next to you parks very closely. You can just kind of pull your car out and then hop in. So.
Can we show them the key fob?
Yes.
MG's asking.
Now, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about the key. Although we got a redesigned vehicle, we did not get a redesigned key fob.
Is it an egg?
Yes. So sometimes you guys have a lot to say about this key. I don't mind it.
It goes in your pocket easy.
Yes. So it does fit girl pockets. And if you guys know, if you're a girl, you understand our pockets are not created equally. But we got our lock, our unlock, our panic buttons. That's for horn and lights, as well as your remote start button. To trigger remote start, you got to lock the vehicle first and then press and hold remote start within about 4 seconds. You're going to hold it for 4 seconds and the car will start. On the side, you got your button for your lift gate, so you press and hold it to open or close it. Then you got your button to move the vehicle forwards and move it backwards. You do have to remote start the vehicle first to do this, so if you just press and hold the front button, the car's not going anywhere. You got to start the car and then do it. Yeah. It's
pretty cool. All right. I absolutely have to go do some work.
That's okay, okay. Pat, he's got things to do.
If you guys have things that you want to see, feel free to leave us some comments, and we'll shoot some more on the Palisade.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Leave a like if you haven't already. Maybe subscribe if you haven't already.
Come buy a car.
Come buy a car. You know what? Liking, subscribing, and commenting is free, so if you do that, take advantage of it. It's free. But if you want to buy a car too, can't say it's free. Can't say it's $2,000, but we'll really appreciate it.
That's right.
Okay, bye you guys.
Thanks, guys.